So today I'm going to be talking to you about the capybara and its anti-cancer properties, but before I get into that, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the capybara itself. It's a part of the order Rodentia, and out of all the currently living members in there, it is the largest. It's the largest one, and its species name is the Hydroceras. They primarily live in all of South America, basically, and as long as they have a constant source of fresh water, they will thrive. And they're found inhabiting grassy plains and rainforests, and also in swamps, marshes, rivers, and lakes. And as you can see, they practically live all over South and a little bit of Central America as well. They're herbivores, and so they eat the vegetation around water sources as well as aquatic plants. And during the dry season, they have been seen to eat grains, melons, reeds, and squashes. They're threatened by jaguars, caimans, and anacondas, but their biggest threats are humans and the deforestation that they cause. They have an oblong head with eyes, ears, and nostrils on top, which allows them to be aware of their surroundings while in the water. They have thin fur that allows them to dry faster, and their epidermis is covered in tissue folds that help cool down the body, but due to a lack of effective sweat glands, they have trouble staying cool. They also have short stubby legs with hoof-like claws that are connected by webbing, and they also have two pairs of large rodent incisors with molars on each side of the lower jaw. They reproduce once a year, but only if the conditions are met, and that's during the rainy season and if it's in April or May. They become sexually mature at 18 months, and the males can detect when the females are ready to mate, and they'll go and breed in the water. Gestation usually lasts about 150 days, and each female will have around 2 to 8 pups, and each weighing in at about 2 to 4 pounds. So what's the application? Well, capybaras will be used to study their anti-cancer properties and allow insight to the common processes as well as the specific human cancer prevention and treatment. So, how does that work? Well, the capybaras have an expanded family of immune-related genes that made their immune system hypervigilant against cancer cells. And who developed it? It was Santiago Herrera Alvarez who did the study on this, and he did it in Colombia, and he found out that the capybaras possess certain genes that essentially prevent the growth and expansion of cancer cells. So how did he do it? How did he figure out which genes allowed for tumor suppression in capybaras? Well, he focused mainly on these panther genes here, and with them he was able to characterize the functions of each of these proteins, so with these right here. And a library of protein families and subfamilies used a gene ontology database to assign function to proteins. And when he did this, he found out that the PI3KR2 and the PRKCI are significantly expanded in the capybara compared to all these other organisms that they tried it out on. And as well as these two up here, the melanoma antigen or the MAGE-G5 and the granzyme B or the GZMB, they found that all of these were more prominent in the capybara, which allows them to control their cell growth and tumor suppression. So, how does the MAGE-B5 and GZMB work? Well, in normal tissues, the MAGE genes are deactivated, but when the cells become cancerous, they're reactivated and produce proteins that cytotoxic T cells can recognize and trigger the tumor suppression response. And as you can see here, when the MAGE-B5 appears in a cancer cell, the cytotoxic T cell recognizes that this is a cancer cell, and so it releases the GZMB, and when it enters a cancer cell, it causes it to perform apoptosis. The expansion of MAGE-B5 and GZMB gene families suggests that T-cell-mediated tumor suppression response may be a parallel strategy to reduce the increased cancer risk related to having a giant body size. So, why is it important? Well, it offers potential targets for human cancer prevention and treatment by using genetically engineered T cells for immunotherapy. And so with that, if we can get these engineered T cells that do the exact same thing that the capybara T cells do, it'll allow humans to have a much lower cancer risk than what we currently have right now. And that's it, and well, thank you for watching the video.